Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 6 of the In the Hub podcast with me, Neil Thacker. On today's episode, we speak to the director of the SRT Alliance, Jesús, or Suso Carrillo. Suso carries more than 20 years of broadcasting experience and joined High Vision last year to head up the SRT Alliance. Hope you enjoy this episode. So, Suso, how did you get your start within the broadcasting and media industry?
I started in Telefónica, in the visual division of Telefónica, and there I spent a lot of times in the more technical side of the TV with production, OB bands, layout, master control room. And then when I think that I thought that I have learned everything about the technical side, then I moved to the editorial side, that it's quite different. And jointly with an editor, we created an Spanish technical and engineering focused magazine called TM Broadcast, that at the first stage was in Spanish and focused target only Spain. But then we created TM Broadcast International in English, and that was great because I traveled a lot worldwide to all the trade shows and meet a lot of people from different companies, and it was absolutely awesome. But then again, there was a time when I say, okay, now I have to learn everything I need to learn about the editorial side, and move to Epic Labs. That was a company focused on media engineering software to TVs and media companies, with a lot of knowledge in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and that kind of things. And then High Vision acquired that company.
Was that when you got your kind of start with High Vision and the SRT Alliance, or did the SRT Alliance come along quite a bit later?
When High Vision acquired LightFlow, that was the technology from Epic Labs and all the engineering team, they told me, so why don't you come a couple of weeks here to Montreal, because we want to know you. And yeah, that was all. Then when I came back to Madrid, Peter Mac called me and told me, okay, do you want to be the SRT Alliance director? And I say, I can't say no.
Yeah, you can't turn down that opportunity, really, can you?
Yeah.
So I guess if we move a little bit into SRT and what it's all about, if anyone is unaware of SRT, could you give us a brief introduction to the SRT protocol?
It's quite simple. Indeed, SRT means secure, reliable transport. We also say that it also means satellite replacement technology. Long story short, it's a technology that allows you to contribute broadcasting video signals and streaming in any kind of unpredictable network. That's SRT, in just one sentence. So I can dig more into the technical side, but it doesn't make sense.
No, we like to keep it simple on this podcast. So I hate to bring it up, but how has the coronavirus impacted the work you're doing with the SRT protocol? Has adoption been impacted by the worldwide pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. So the adoption been impacted, no doubt about that. It's true that before the pandemic, both the SRT adoption and the SRT Alliance was constantly growing at a nice pace. But the thing is that the pandemic has impacted this in a positive way, and adoption has accelerated because of remote workflows and digital transformation. Okay, what's happening with this? It's not just the people working at their homes. It does that kind of remote production workflows, or live workflows that were like in the scope of the industry, becomes a reality. And the thing with that is that when companies start making that change, now they need a great quality, the lowest latency, and to handle their workflows in the most secure way. And that's exactly what SRT provides. We have noticed that the coronavirus pandemic has impacted positively in this. Indeed, the SRT Alliance is approaching the 450 members right now. And, we see that along worldwide, there is a lot of different and nice use cases in different industries, because the thing with SRT is that we have a real approach. And when I say the real approach of this protocol, is that we have taken account all the video ecosystem. This is not just about broadcasting. We have created this with the broadcasters in mind, and with the events companies in mind, and OTTs in mind, and everybody. So that's nice, and that's I think that that's part of the success, because there is a lot of companies that right now have some kind of different markets in their as a target for them, but with this protocol they can reach everything, and that's nice also.
So I know a major aspect of the SRT protocol is that it's obviously open source and the API is available.
Yeah.
So what are the main benefits of licensing the SRT protocol in this way?
The great thing with making SRT an open source protocol is that it's something that was decided in 2017 when open sourcing the protocol. Haivision decided to create also the SRT Alliance to try to promote the adoption of SRT across the streaming and broadcast industry, because that was the idea, to set SRT as a de facto standard for the industry. The great thing with making it open source in this of licensing, a license model, is that it makes the adoption quite simple. You just need to integrate the code that is available in GitHub, and it's just a matter of hours to implement SRT into your developments and create a product or a service, and that's nice. There is a question that people ask me regularly, and it's what's the benefit for Haivision in this? Okay, and I say, well, setting SRT as an standard allows a market. So the biggest the market, the biggest the competitors, but also the biggest the sales.
So I know, obviously, you said the main goal really was making SRT the de facto kind of standard in the industry.
Yeah.
Do you think that you guys have achieved that, or is there still a way to go?
We are in a good shape to get the standard. Indeed, it has been tabled at the IFT. And at this moment, I think that maybe the whole industry is using SRT. So there is a lot of different use cases in different verticals. We are absolutely in good shape. And the difference with other protocols that makes similar things with different approaches is that everybody's using SRT, while other protocols, they're trying to make some noise, but at the end of the day, no one is using them. And that's the difference.
So I guess, I'm curious about who and what industries you think benefit the most from SRT and whether this has changed over time.
There has been always a great benefit in the broadcast media and entertainment industry. That's obvious, but right now with the COVID pandemic, the live events industry is getting a lot of benefits from SRT. Indeed, there is a lot of companies that has the need to change from traditional events to virtual events and that kind of things. And the same in in the music industry with streaming concerts and all of that. So it's nice. Again, what's needed in that to make that happen? The lowest latency and the highest quality, and that's as an open source protocol to implement the solution so easy.
Yeah, it must be a really, really good feeling for you guys over there to think. Obviously, you're helping these people out so much, and
Yeah, and it's nice because when we catch up with these kind of companies, we notice that they are excited with this. They say, "Wow, this is awesome! It's so easy to use. We feel like there is a whole industry supporting this." That it's nice. Any kind of equipment they need, anything they need, they find what they need. It's not like, okay, this is a protocol that it's adopted by 10 companies or something like that. I make my own development and then I need, I don't know, better encoding, better encoders or better whatever, and I can find them. I can find what they need. It's not the case. They think that they told us that they feel so supportive, so easy to find solutions, so easy. And then again, as in the SRT Alliance, we also work like, trying to connect companies and get the people in touch when they need something. Any technical inquiries, anything they need, they get it solved in the short term.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard to not be excited by SRT, especially when there's that whole kind of support network that you get with the SRT Alliance and all those members. You can, so many people have adopted it, so many people are using it. So, Suso, I guess in one word, what do you envision for the future of SRT?
Our goal is to set SRT as a standard. That's the word, standard or standardization. So it's something like that begins with that Grammy Award, and we think that the final goal is that. So indeed, people from Haivision, from the engineering team from Haivision, and I think that also from SK Telecom, they presented to the IETF, SRT as a protocol to be considered as an industry standard. This happened is something that happens this year, and let's see how it behaves. But I think that's what we are looking for. To get SRT as a real or an official standard. Because right now I think we are actually a de facto standard as everybody is using it, and it's there's a lot of companies implementing and using it in a way that even we didn't think, as happens with playout companies. So SRT was not created, to fit at the playout companies or playout vendors' necessities, but yeah, it fits, and that's nice. Okay, and also we want to continue the SRT development. So this is a nice project. I think that at the moment there is like 60 different collaborators, moreover than the Haivision engineering team, but we are going to continue the development of SRT. So this is not something that is going to stop. And that's nice because it gives you support along the time.
I think that's a really good note to end on. So, Suso, thanks so much for answering the questions we put forward for you today about SRT. I guess just to finish, are there any exciting projects in the pipeline at SRT Alliance?
We are going to begin in October with a kind of video podcast called SRT Tuesday webinars, where we are going to catch up on a one-on-one basis with different members to talk about why did they approach to SRT, the benefits the thing are around SRT and their use cases. I think it's quite important right now to talk about the different use cases, as we are seeing, as I told before, playout companies using it, event companies using it, music production companies using it. So it's crazy. So I think it's a nice time to catch up with all of them and push out there all of that nice use cases. Then I think that late October or early November, I don't have a definite date at the moment, we are going to host another Plugfest to check interoperability within the different, SRT Alliance member. This is nice because as it's a virtual Plugfest, you can try and you can test your development interoperability within the different members. At the end of that day, you get a tag that we call SRT Plug, that you are absolutely and 100% compatible. And then what we are envisioning, for 2021 is concerning the SRT Alliance. We want to be the communications vehicle for all the SRT Alliance member and the SRT community. And there is going to be some changes and initiatives that we are kicking off in 2021 and will be announced soon.
So how can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more about SRT and the SRT Alliance?
It's so easy. They just need to reach srtalliance.org or get in touch directly with me, sending an email at director@srtalliance.org.
Fantastic. So once again, thanks so much for coming on, Suso, and speaking to us on the In the Hub podcast. Hopefully we'll speak to you soon, and we'll look out for the podcast that you guys are starting to set up as well in October.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neil, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Suso.
Take
care.
Bye-bye.